Okay, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Um, I'm stealing your idea if you watch this video, Josh from the Swamp 666. Um, the Mandela Effect. So I'm going to play this song that I wrote the lyrics, and I'm not gonna play my original because my original is trash compared to this. I just plugged plugged my lyrics into AI and it created this song. But so, you can find it yourself and I might put it in the description as well. So, um it's a little bit too loud maybe. Yeah, I definitely remember Publishers Clearinghouse. Um and Ed McMahon doing it's distracting. This is so distracting for me. I can't have distractions. I think I'm autistic. Not really. Publishers Clearinghouse. Now it's American something. It's not Publishers Clearinghouse. I definitely remember Publishers Clearinghouse. I remember all this stuff that's completely different than what it is now. I don't know if I'm in a different dimension from what I was um, born into. If the elites who are pulling the strings on everything have messed with the internet and wiped things out of history. But there's so many things. Even if you look at like movies, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Life was like a box of chocolates. That's what it is. Luke, I am your father. It's no, Luke. It's not Luke, I am your father. I remember that. Um, and there's like so many more. Like Jiffy, it's Jif. The Berenstein Bears, Sex in the City, Sex and the City. So how is this stuff different than what I remember? Hello, Clarice. I forgot what that one is. Hello, Clarice. It's not the same in the movie, but I kind of wanted to do like a dubstep type of feel to this song. Um, but yeah, like I don't know what this is. Like, what the hell is a Mandela effect? I remember. Okay, that song's over now. I can finally like focus. Not so I remember. I remember things differently than they really are. Like, it makes no sense. And there's a lot of people who around my age who say the same thing. And then I've talked to people and they remember things differently. Some people remember some things, other people don't. I remember Shazam, and it was who's that guy that was it that damn, what's his name? Sinbad. It was basically he was like a genie, and apparently that movie has never been created. But I remember that movie. I think I've watched it when I was younger. It's such a weird like mind trip. And like this is out here. I don't know if like regular people understand like the Mandela effect is out here. This like shows that like whatever our reality is isn't what we perceive it to be. It is not what we think it is. This is why I question so much stuff. Man, like I am not an atheist. I am not a Jesus hater. I don't hate Jesus, man. I just question the Bible. Even I forgot the Bible verse, but there's some type of Bible verse that apparently that had a Mandela effect with it as well. And it makes me wonder, like, if these things have changed in this reality, like kind of like somebody went into the past, like if you watch Back to the Future, something like that, where when they go back in the past, you're not supposed to change things because it can affect the future. The big story is like when Biff, I think, gets that the sports betting magazine, and movie analogies are great to for people great analogies for people to understand what you're trying to say. But then he goes into the past and he starts, obviously he's got the cheat book, and he just becomes very rich in the future. He changed history, and some things changed. It makes me wonder, like, did time travel warp? Am I in a different dimension? Did somebody mess with time? Like, does it have anything to do with CERN? Like, that they're trying to create the God particle, or they're trying to mimic it, or trying to figure out um, the Big Bang, or whatever they're trying to do. Um, did that have an effect on anything? Um, how everything is just so wonky nowadays. It's just, I understand, like, seeing it's really weird because we were on such a good path. I feel like going into, like, when we were in the 90s, me growing up in the 90s, when it comes to like the racism stuff, like we were getting past that. And I'm sure, like, okay, people like black folks who went through like really bad racism, and I get like why they were pissed, like for the crap that they went through. They seen what their parents went through. I understand the resentment, but like the way society was changing to make things more equal is kind of like, it's not like we forget about the past or anything like that, because you never want to forget about the past because you don't want to repeat it. I'm screaming saying that's like, if we don't make some changes, we're gonna have some type of economic collapse, and it's gonna lead to like some type of French Revolution, a possibility of another, like, I think if Trump didn't get in there, another Hitler would have rose. That's what I think. But I'm not trying to talk about politics, but that does play into this too. Like, what happens if, like, man, I wonder if, like, in the future, um, some things that seem certain now, like, okay, here's something hypothetical. Like, okay, everyone knows who Mr. Beast is. What if he, like, was never on YouTube in the future, but he got big off of Rumble or something? You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what it's like when I'm thinking back in Ed McMahon, and he would go up to people's houses, and I think he would give them $10,000. I think that's what it was, $10,000. It wasn't no 100,000. It was like $10,000. He would have a huge check, said Publishers Clearinghouse on it, and he had balloons. He obviously had the camera crew, and he'd be like, and then they'd be all happy, like they got 10,000, because $10,000 is, it is a good chunk nowadays, no doubt. But like back then, it was a lot of, like, back then it feels like somebody gave you like 100,000 nowadays or something like that. But it's just so weird to see, like, the different impacts in our culture, and the lack of culture nowadays as well. The lack of creativity, how it just kind of like disappeared. It's so weird how could the internet affect things so much, where like the mainstream media isn't, or whoever's like putting out, like, how is there, like, all up until what, 10 years ago, all up until like 10 years ago, maybe 2012, maybe we're all, like, I've heard of different theories where we're all dead, and um like 2012, we like the calendar ended, the Mayan calendar ended in 2012, and like the world blew up, but like we're living in some type of different reality or something now. But I know I sound crazy, man. I know I sound crazy. It's I like to like even like the flat Earth stuff. Like um, I'm not a flat Earth type of person. But like I'm open minded to it being a possibility. Like there's a firmament, or we never really been in space, especially like it makes you question things when they with that spacecraft they just launched with Jeff Bezos, the Blue Sky or whatever, Blue Origin or whatever, and then they opened the door from the inside. Obviously, it was probably like Katy Perry. Honestly, it's probably one of those people, so, or his wife. One of the whoever the first people were about to come out. They probably opened that door, and they weren't supposed to. And then they tried to like act like we're stupid and we didn't just see that. It's almost like getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Like I just question things, man. I just think there's more that is going on than I know. And I'm definitely not a damn atheist. I don't think like there's I don't think um evolution happened and then like the Big Bang Theory, and then everything just formed. Like I'm from the ocean, like humans are from the ocean or whatever. We evolved from the ocean over thousands of billions of years. Maybe like, and I'm not saying it couldn't have happened. Maybe it did. But me personally, like what I basically go off of is I try to go off of not so much with politics. I get it, but with a lot of things I kind of like mostly believe, but I leave like a little bit of room for like skepticism. Even like with Adolf, it's like there's so much hate on him, but what if there's the hoaxes are true? Like I don't know. I'm not saying the information that I've been given about Germany in the 1940s didn't happen, but I'm saying like I don't know, I wasn't there. And then when I see the mainstream media and how they act with Trump, I know people don't want to hear it, but how they only hate on him. The left wing um media will not report on anything good on him. It makes me think like there's more going on than meets the eye. Um, is it true with the Epstein? Like, is Trump involved with that? That's what I want to know. Like, why isn't these being released? I want to know if the dude was in there. Like, I want to know if he's a pedophile. If the dude's a pedophile, like, dude, like, get the fuck out of here, man. Seriously, like, I want to know everyone who was on that list, everyone who did that. Like, why is that not coming out? Like how can they just get rid of government evidence, like court, like that, court evidence, and just disappear it? It, it, so it just makes me wonder, like, what the hell is going on? I'm hopeful that like that'll come out, but we've been told like almost a month or two ago that was on her desk, and we haven't had a single, or that was the RFK. I don't know, but I've seen like the JFK assassination, where it had 3 rows of seats instead of just 2. you see the way AI is, for us, for regular consumption for us. Well, to think that like they don't have something better behind the scenes is absolutely ridiculous. I seen this photo somebody posted, and like scrolling down, the first thing I seen was like the way everything's positioned is the face of Jesus by the way these people are standing, and the way everything's aligned in the photo. And then you look closer, then you can see like the car's messed up in the back, and it's completely done by AI. Little mess ups with the hands or whatever. Um, it makes you wonder, like, am I in a matrix? I don't. Am I in a matrix? Am I already in a matrix? I kind of feel like it kind of like being attached to our phones, like, always being plugged in, either um the video games or the TV, even watching TV in the movies. Like, it's so weird when you get so immersed in a movie, you forget everything. Like, everything that's going on around you, you're just oblivious. You're just so in tuned into the movie. It's almost like you're in the movie. I don't know if like everybody else's experience is the same as mine. I would assume so, because I don't think there's anything really special about me. But where you're so like into the story that you're almost in it, like you're observing it. Obviously you're observing, but like not from like your couch or a movie theater. Like, you're actually there in the movie. Like, you're like a just somebody like watching, and you're not saying anything. um I don't know, man. This stuff is like so weird. This is stuff that really intrigues me, man. Like, really weird stuff like this. And like, I know people get tired of me talking about um, politics or whatever, but yeah, like, definitely look into the Mandela effect. If you don't know what it is, just go on the internet, go on to YouTube. And especially if you're somebody that's middle aged like me, you're gonna see a lot of stuff that you're like, what? Like, what is it? Um, the Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia, and I guess it never did. There's like so many. I guess the Ford sign, that's a big one. Like, these were ones that I was looking up. Like, I think I started looking into the Mandela effect around. I don't know, it just kind of like popped up on my YouTube or something. I'm like, what the heck is this? I don't know exactly when, but it's been like it's probably been like 10 years since I looked into the Mandela effect, honestly. And it's really it's so weird that we have this type of information. And how can I question? It's like I question reality, but I keep on going forward with it. Um, I don't know. And I've said stuff like this could we all are in our own Truman shows, basically. Um, it is weird what it for me. I see stuff like, okay, the weird thing you hear me complain about is when I'm about to cross the street, I see no cars coming. I'm not there. I'm not being able to cross yet, but like, I I'm getting close, and then all of a sudden, when I get close enough, I'm about to cross, all these cars just start coming out of nowhere, just to like to stop me. And then, like, I know it sounds weird, and then like I cross, and then there's no cars at all. And it even it happens at weird times where like it's really rare to see cars out at that time. People are sleeping, or it's like really, really, really early in the morning, like when I would walk to the gym or something. And at all the time, it's like I cross the street, and it's just dead. It's dead for like, like there's nothing that happens for minutes. But at that one time that I crossed the street, out of nowhere, the timing just meets up where I have to stop. I and for me, this is the weirdest. Like, it's so weird. I think that there are signs that try to lead us out of places in our lives that it's either aliens, God, and I'm getting kind of like goosebumps talking about this, that we ignore. For instance, this is my job. I'm obviously unemployed, but leading up to me losing my job, I was getting more angry and more angry. And I was like, just keep pushing forward, just keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. I usually do that. When I quit a job, I leave on good terms. I don't just quit like I did. Well, I was sick though, so that's I wanted to add that later, but things were getting harder and harder at work, and they weren't getting easier, and it felt like, is something battling against me? Like, am I not supposed to be here? And I would get more agitated because work was getting harder and harder. And, whether it's because my body is old and I couldn't handle the work, so I had to call off and accumulate the points, I knew that I was probably going to have my back against the wall. And most of the time I come out from it and, don't have my back against the wall and don't, I get rid of my points or whatever. If it ever, I usually don't ever get that high, but things happen, and it's just like things that I can't really control. I don't want to go into depth because I don't like to talk about other people, that I care about, but like, it's my fault, like, why I got my points up so high. But kind of towards the end, it kind of wasn't. Like, some things kind of, I had to make some choices. I didn't have to make the choice. I could have handled things differently, but it was just like, I am not supposed to be here. I'm not really connecting with anybody at work. This place right now, I dated really well when I lived here a long time ago. Now, like, there's no women that like me or even show interest. And I'm the type of person, I am a very observant person. My awareness is one of my greatest strengths. People can come on here and say I'm stupid. Go ahead, say I'm dumb. I don't care. Of course, like, I'm not like educated college, but like, my awareness and my experience from life, and connecting patterns is wild. Is I don't know, but it's some of my greatest intelligence is my awareness in reading people and reading situations. For instance, like, I'm not gonna detour too far off, but like, yesterday I tripped and I was about to twist my ankle and I automatically fell. I automatically made myself fall. I've twisted my ankle so many times. As soon as I feel it like turn the wrong way, instead of it going all the way, like, I fall. So like, I always do this. My awareness is like really high. Like, most people probably just like break their ankle or something. I'm not trying to brag. I know how life works. Life's gonna make me break my ankle because I'm not bragging. Um, So, whenever I get confidence in this life, or like start to feel good about myself, I get knocked down. So I don't really can't afford to get knocked down anymore at this point. But like, that last day at work, man, when I was sick as a dog and I didn't have the points to take off. I couldn't call off. I had to go in or lose my job. So I forced myself to go in, hoping that it wasn't going to be a big day, and it turned out to be a big day. I got my equipment. There was no equipment there. There was no equipment there that day. There was hardly anything. I always show up early, and this wasn't any different that day. And there's enough equipment for a lot of there's decent amount of equipment. You know what I mean, to be able to do my job. But for whatever reason, that day it was all gone, and it was all nothing but crap there. And so I grabbed my first piece of equipment. I drove it all the way to the office. I get there. It was the best one I could find. I get there, and one of the wheels was broken. I couldn't even use it. So I was pissed. I left it there, and I went back, and I was going to go look for another one. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, it felt like the world was, like, against me, like, so hard. Like, just, you're not going to make it. You're not going to work here no more. Like, you're done. My son already lost his job there, like, a week before. And it was just like, you're not going to stay here. So, like, I went back and tried to look for another one. And there was nothing there. Because it was already grabbed up by the people that came in after me. And then I was like, I'm defeated. And I wasn't trying to go out that way. I like to go out and leave I like to go to another job. I like to have a job lined up. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't plan for this to happen. I'm very responsible. But life was just like, no, you're done. And I'm like, okay. And then I just went back, clocked out, and left. Didn't say nothing to nobody, and I just left. And, when I'm connecting all the dots, like, not forming relationships here, the job pushing me out. There's something else I was thinking about, too. And what life was just saying is, you are done. You're not supposed to be here no more. And, the first week when I was out, I was like, guess what? I guess I'll just relax. I think I deserve a little bit of time. And I wasn't smoking weed or nothing like that. I didn't even, my last day at work was like January 15th or something like that. And I didn't even start smoking weed until like, it was probably like March 7th. And today is 4/20, by the way, and I can't smoke weed. But, so after a couple of weeks, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start looking for a job. And I'm like, there's nothing out here. I tried a couple of places, even a place where I'm like, I'm really well underqualified, but they wanted to give me an interview or whatever. And I went out there, failed. And even this one place where I'm like really well qualified, and I had a good phone interview, but they didn't even give me a second interview. I had to get a second in-person interview. No, after that I was like, I'm gonna start smoking weed. I'm done with this place. I don't think I'm supposed to be here no more. There was just so many signs. They weren't small; they were big signs. Like I don't think that anybody can ignore them. That I'm not supposed to be here, and that's what It seems like when you have a lot of resistance like that, like that's telling you that you have to change things up. It's either you get a different job, it's just whatever you're doing is not working. You have to switch things up. For whatever reason, I'm not supposed to be here in Michigan right now. I don't know if I'm going to be coming back at some time in my life. I didn't think I'd ever come back here to begin with anyway. I think like my plans were kind of like, when I moved from here, I was done with this place. When I initially moved from here to move to Washington State, I told myself that I am never coming back, and I didn't think I was ever coming back here, honestly. I moved to Washington State for the intention to stay there pretty much the rest of my life. That's a place I always wanted to live when I was younger. And I have like family there and stuff like that. And that just it's just, that place seemed like it wasn't, it was a lot of resistance. And of course in life you have resistance, but there becomes a point where it's like, there's so much resistance where like it's just I'm not going to overcome this. And I think that people have to look at that type of stuff and try not to ignore signs, but it's really hard for people to ignore signs when we're so immersed in the matrix. Even to the point like right now, you know, not getting any growth on this channel, and I am like posting every single day because I don't really have anything else to do right now. Like I would love to just be like smoking weed, playing some video games. You know, I have some stuff left I gotta to take up to wrap up, but it's just like I got a whole week left to get this stuff done. You know, and I trust my intuition. I really do. I trust my intuition. And my intuition says, get the hell out of here, go back to Missouri. And it's also telling me not to go bankrupt too. It's telling me to fight to try to get my debt down, because this isn't working out for me. Social media isn't working out for me. And in fact, it's making me more pissed off. I mean, if I was to pull up my stats from Twitter, you would see like big, huge breaks. The interesting thing is, so I was smoking weed all last year basically, and then I laid off and I quit, and then Trump, like that second time that he was on, like the assassination attempt on Trump, I was like, because I was on Twitter all the time, man. I was on this. I was on Twitter all the time. And I started smoking, and I don't really care about, you know, posting as much. And you could probably see this too if you look at my videos. One more thing real quick I want to talk about. Facebook and YouTube, they need to do a better job organizing. I don't know if everybody else's is different, but mine, you know, like I want to be able to go back like years, like put the pictures on Facebook in years categories instead of having to like search for things like, and same with my videos, it should be like years, man. Like put them into years where people can like go back. Hopefully one day they do that. And I think I just distracted myself. I really wanted to get that out because that's what I've been thinking about. But yeah, this isn't serving me either. There's so much resistance for me to like, even my current shadow ban with Twitter. I started smoking weed last month, and I didn't really use Twitter as much. I didn't post hardly any videos on here that much. So, and when I came back to Twitter, like my thing popped off. I had like, I think I had like over 1 million impressions in like 4 days, and then all of a sudden, now it's nothing. It started dropping. I just seen the notifications. Like when you have so many notifications that you can't keep up, every time you like open it up, you're like, I can't keep up with this. I can't keep up with the new stuff that's coming out on my news feed and all these notifications. I can't do it. Now I can, because they're trickling in as hardly at all. It's like it's dead. It's almost like this. It's, you know, and the algorithm just tells me like I am not supposed to be doing this. I don't know. Maybe I've already done enough, and I just need to go. I don't know what the hell I want. Like for me, I don't. When I hear the thing like, if you had all the money in the world that you didn't have to worry about working a real job, what would you do? I don't know. Because my interests like change all the time, and I'm so much interested in like so many different things that I don't just want to sit here and focus. I don't have one thing that I'm like passionate about like everybody. I wish I did. And I'm jealous of people, man. I'm really jealous that I can't have a specialty that's something that I just have one main interest. Even watching like King Louis off of Marie Antoinette. That guy was into hunting. He was into making locks and something else. I forgot. But like, I wish I was that basic. I wish I could just sit here and be like, I know how to do everything on cars. I know how to fix cars from top to bottom, and I like to fish like a normal man. But I gotta sit here and like be a dyslexic person who is somewhat creative, somewhat, it's always somewhat. It's never like amazing in one thing. I don't know. It's like somewhat okay at dribbling basketball and shooting three, somewhat okay. Like, how many people can like play guitar and sing at the same time? I mean, that's not a major thing that everybody can do. I mean, there's a lot of people that can do it, but like, and I'm not that good right now. I have no desire to make, like, right now. I have no creativity. It's completely gone. I have no creativity right now. I can't even like write lyrics. And in fact, when I was writing the lyrics, I had to basically force it, but I still came out with some they're okay. I mean, but there's nothing that I'm just like, nothing that interests me that I just want to. I have so many interests. There's so many different things that I'm like, I'm in such a weird spot because I'm looking at these podcasters who are a lot like me. They're a lot smarter, and they have all these different interests as well. And there's different areas where they're like, yeah, they're not an expert, but there's certain things of that thing that they might be able to talk about. Like economics. I'm not an economics expert. I don't like economics. The only reason I got into it anyway is because I was tired of being fucking poor. Like, I was into the whole like self-building and making yourself better. And for somebody in my position, it's kind of hard when I just had too much going on. And I don't know, at this point I'm just like an old man and I just don't really care. It's like I don't care about, like, I mean, just like material things just doesn't get me riled up. I mean, why I used to go to the gym and wanted to self-improve so much was because I wanted to be attractive to women. And I was. And then after 2020, I think everything changed. I think the lockdowns really affected people in a lot of different ways, especially women. I think a lot of women are fine just being alone because that's what they've been conditioned. And like, they don't need sex like we do it. Like, we need sex a lot more than they do. That's all we really think about. We like visual, like, like, it takes a lot more for them to get aroused than it does us. It takes multiple factors. Geez, a woman that I'm attracted to, she could touch my arm and I'm ready to go. Like, but I wish I was like 70. I wish I didn't have. I wish I didn't have that. Whatever. I think maybe it's like I got a lot of testosterone, but it's. Dude, if I could, I would just like. I don't like. I don't like the digestive system. I hate my digestive system. I hate when I have no. Um. Even like foods, like. I don't even like. I don't know. I'm weird. I don't even know why I'm talking about myself at this point. I guess because I'm a narcissist, right? I'm making these videos. I'm a narcissist. But it is my channel, right? This is my channel. So, and I'm not saying, okay, when you probably heard this if you watch a lot of my videos. I'm not hating on the people who watch my videos. I'm not saying like nobody watches my videos, but obviously there's a discrepancy when I have the subs I have and to the views. I mean, people commented all the time on Twitter, you have 13,000 followers, but then why isn't anybody interacting with you? I don't know. What is that? What is it? You tell me. You tell me. Because if I suck so bad or they didn't, then they would probably unfollow me, right? I don't know. It's quite obvious that this is my struggle too. This is my struggle that I can't break free out of this shit. I can't break free either in the digital realm, and I can't break free in my own personal life. And I am gonna try to put my head down. This is going to be my last attempt, man. This is gonna be my last attempt to, really try to get my financial stuff in order. And we'll see what happens. And it's a wait and see. And I hope the best. I've had plenty of. I don't know. I don't recommend this for everybody. I don't recommend that people put themselves out there like this unless you can handle the hate, even if it's inorganic. When I say inorganic, I say AI to try to get you riled up. I don't know. I know the algorithm doesn't like me, and this is why I just, you know, just like, why am I going to keep bothering with this if it's not going to help my personal life any? I'm sure I'll make videos down the road, but I'm not, I got a couple. I got like a little bit over a week left, and then I'll be out of here. I'll be on the road and going back to Missouri, and then trying to build my life up. For right now, it's like I'm going to stay with my mom. Like, that's not very good. It's good because it's better than being homeless. So, we have we have some plans. I don't want to go over. I don't want to talk about my kids' plans or nothing like that. But we have plans. Like, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a lot better than here, and hopefully. But anybody who's watched my content, especially if you got this far into this video, like, I thank you for listening to my stuff, man. That's really cool that maybe you relate to me in some type of way, and or you, I don't know why anybody would listen to me ramble. I mean, I keep on like talking about, I don't finish what I want to say, and I keep on going to different things, and I'm like basically a mess on here, and it's probably kind of hard to. Sometimes I hit hard, and other times it's just rambling, and but I was playing with the live stream today and see how that was, and yeah, but this stuff isn't really serving me, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna delete anything. I'm just gonna keep it up. Maybe down the road, maybe I'll make a video here and there, something like that if I got the time. But I need to focus on my personal life and kind of exiting the matrix for a little while. You know what I mean? And seeing maybe it's probably a good thing, because like, hanging out with my mom's and kind of going back into looking at the TV again. I haven't had TV for a long time, and kind of seeing like what's different, what's changed, how it looks. Man, like seriously, like sound like AOC out here, but it's like I haven't watched TV for like, man, how long has it been since I really sat down and watched TV? Man, it's got to be before 2012, man. I Because I started getting into YouTube. I started listening to a lot of YouTube and watching the videos. The big thing on YouTube when I started getting into YouTube was with like me and my ex breaking up. How to get your ex back. And it worked. It worked. It really worked. That's how I got into the whole red pill thing, is suffering and heartbreak and not knowing what the hell I'm doing wrong and what is going on. And you know, that was a crazy thing, but it's just I want to see like what is the mainstream media. I don't watch them. The last time I watched mainstream media was when I was living at my dad's. Like my dad let me stay at his place when I moved to Washington City before I can get kind of like this situation with my mom. Um, until I got my place. And I remember watching Fox News, Sean Hannity. I liked Laura Ingraham. I liked Tucker, of course, but I watched those. But after that, I didn't watch it anymore. And it's gonna be interesting to see. Maybe I'll flip through CNN and see what they look like and what they're talking about. I have no idea. They got completely different people now, and I really, the people. Oh, you're Fox News. You pay attention to Fox. No, I don't. I don't pay attention to Fox News. I don't pay attention to any of them. And maybe I should, but I get most of my information off of Twitter, to be honest, and YouTube, because the people I listen to, like Tim Pool, I like listening to. My favorite show is Timcast IRL. That's like Timcast IRL is on at 8, and that's like prime time. I used to watch all those shows back in the day in the 90s, where I talked about like Roseanne Barr and stuff like that. But yeah, like I like to listen to his show every single night that it's on, most nights. I think I've been doing that since like 2019 ish, maybe 2018. When I found him because of Joe Rogan. I think it was the episode, it might have been a clip, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy, Tim Pool? And he's like arguing with I think not Jack. I don't know if Jack Dorsey was on there, but his lawyer was on there. He's talking about Twitter or whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna check this guy out, and I really liked their show, Timcast, and I really liked Lydia. I thought that, man, I was a little bit infatuated with that woman. It's kind of funny too. She has responded to me a couple of times on Twitter, liked a couple of things, and this is pretty cool. And then I seen her husband, and it's probably changed now. I looked him up, probably like last year, like a half a year ago, when she was responding to me, because I was kind of curious. With her big following, she's got like over 200,000 followers on Twitter. And I was like, I wonder how because there's videos of him that I've seen, and he had less followers than me. I'm like, wow. I think he was just like a background person, but it is pretty crazy, man. It is pretty crazy to see people like that who are pretty well known people, whether they're WNBA people, they're not really well known, but I mean, it's getting into the WNBA or something like that, or seeing like possibly an ex NFL player, or you know what I mean, that they had, like, you've heard of them a little bit, not somebody that's just been there for like 2 plays or something like that. I'm saying like somebody that's been in there for a couple years, and to see, like, I'm not trying to brag either. I'm just trying to give people like a perspective of, because if you don't have that type of following, and it is so weird. Like this guy, okay, Money GPT, Money G, GPS. I think his name is Money GPS on here. Man, the dude has over 200,000 subs. He might have like 500,000 subs on here. And he's got like less followers on Twitter than me. And me and him are like talking on there. It's like, and Aaron Clary interacts with me on there sometimes. And it's just like, it's kind of weird to kind of almost be in that club, but not. It's like almost there. Almost. And but it kind of sucks because you see people that you're interacting with, and then you see them grow, which is cool. I want them to grow, but then I'm just staying at the same spot. I can't grow, and it kind of makes me wish I would never even got to this spot, and I never knew what it felt like as well. But I am proud of myself. I am, even though I don't get support from a lot of people that I know. No family members, no family members, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. Everyone's living their own lives, you know what I mean? But, if I heard like somebody had a lot of followers that I knew, I was like, dude, that's awesome, man. Heck yeah, that's really cool. But, I don't get the love. And then that's where my frustration comes from, man. Like, that's where it really comes from. It's like, where's my support, man? Who else is doing this? Who else in our family is doing what I'm doing? Who else is writing books and making music? Oh, I guess everybody's doing that. I guess it's pretty normal. Everybody just makes music, write books, and has their own YouTube channel that it doesn't really fucking matter. It really doesn't matter. I might as well have like two subs on here, honestly. And that's, I might as well have like 100 followers on Twitter. That's basically what it feels like. You know what I mean? That shit doesn't even fucking matter. It really doesn't matter, unless you have a ton. But the thing is about the followers is, this is where the followers are, where I like what I use, because there's so many like fake accounts out there that try to parody other accounts, and it's so stupid. It's so dumb, and it's annoying because you're like, I even made the mistake. I'm like, oh shit, Tim Pool like responded to me, and then it ended up I didn't look, and it was like somebody that has like 2,000 followers. I'm like, ugh. Yeah. But so like I usually check. So like, Elon Musk likes something you say, and their current logo because you commented on whatever they put out, and like from now it's like Elon Musk likes your stuff. It's kind of like there's like a trillion Elon Musk on there. It's kind of like you just roll your eyes, but you hope when you click, you're like, oh man, hopefully this is a real one. Oh, and then it turns out sometimes it is like not Elon, but like a big person, like Lydia, big person. Yeah, but what it is I think that I'm just not that interesting. I mean, that's probably what it comes down to. It probably has nothing to do with the algorithm and everything to do with me just not being very interesting and me not being very likable. I think I'm kind of unique, but I guess not, because my perspective comes from the have-nots, you know what I mean? And trying to be the voice of the have-nots. I don't really see a lot of voices in the mainstream from the have-nots. I see a lot from the people who are the haves. I see some from people who were have-nots, but are haves, and they've been haves for a while now. And if I ever gain that type of notoriety, I would just end up being like them anyway. So, like, yeah, I guess I'm a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? So, anyway, this video, there's only so much I could talk about the Mandela effect, unless I'm like talking with somebody else, and it makes it more interesting. Look that stuff up if you don't know what it is, and maybe it's all fake. I really don't think it's fake. Maybe it's just the simulation, or You know, you got some of the smartest people on this planet saying we live in a simulation. Do we? Do you think we live in a simulation? Leave a comment. That's a YouTuber, right? Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I find that shit annoying as hell, especially when they put it on every video. Like, subscribe. Like, I know I can't do. I don't need you to fucking tell me in every single fucking video, man. Come on. Anyway, that's it.